At this very moment, we are seeing one of the biggest changes in the history of cryptocurrencies. In this video, I want to talk about the SEC's new plan to go after Ethereum and other proof-of-stake cryptocurrency. This really shocks me. I'd like to talk about the specific benefits this will have for the XRP system and XRP. This could have some really big effects in the future, people. At the end of the film, I also want to talk about an interesting thing that Ripple is working on with the CBDC in the US. Don't forget to stay for that, you won't want to miss it. To start this video, I'd like to talk about how shocking it was that the SEC recently decided to go after Ethereum. When it dropped earlier today, I had no idea this would happen. I'm well aware that the Ethereum Foundation has done some questionable things in its early years. I knew that the ETH Foundation did a securities offering, which is against the law. But I never, ever thought that the SEC would look into Ethereum. Another reason I didn't think they would do anything was that the SEC was so involved in giving Ethereum a free pass. They had a direct link to the hacking of Ethereum. I didn't think the SEC would be able to go after Ethereum in a way that would make them find their own bones or dig out their own grave. I thought the SEC would rather shut down Ethereum, forget about it, and move on. The way the market is moving right now, though, makes me think that might not be the case. We learned earlier today that Ethereum is being looked into by the SEC, and since then, many stories have come out. Eleanor Tarrant said earlier today that it looks like the SEC will try to corner Ethereum by saying that it is now a security because it moved to a proof-of-stake basis, even though it was fine before, as we said. What this means is shocking because it shows how eager the SEC will be to show that any cryptocurrency they can find is a security. Besides that, seeking proof-of-stake is an easy way to try to get a big share of the market for securities. Proof-of-stake models make up the majority of agreement models. Is that right? It's not the XRP system. Proof-of-stake is used by a lot of different cryptocurrency, not just Finny and Bitcoin. It looks like the SEC is trying to go in a completely different direction by looking for proof of stake and saying that this proves the security of an item, which gives them a big piece of the market. I feel like I need to say a few things about this now. In the first place, I don't think Ethereum is a hack. For myself, a first coin offering ICO is a deal in stocks. I think that the first information we have about the whales that don't have names is pretty sketchy. I agree with everything except the fact that I don't think Ethereum should be a security. The CC has a terrible track record in court. I don't think they will win, but I do think there will be a lot of chaos on Ethereum. I think the community on the Ethereum network will feel the same fear that the XRP community did during that case. Finally, I think this is just the start of the problems that come with proof of stake. The SEC will, of course, fight this and try to take over proof of stake networks so that they can use their governing power against others. But there are a lot more problems with proof of stake. I don't understand why the idea that proof of stake is based on the biggest number of tokens is so important to me. If I can just buy influence into a network, the only thing that really makes it decentralized is the amount of large holders in it. Because they are worth a lot more than any single market holders. What would happen if the government or another big company like BlackRock decided to step in and start buying tokens to take control? This means that these big companies could easily take over these networks by buying a big chunk of the coin. This has always seemed like a big issue with the idea of proof of stake in general. In this way, the management of these networks has always been a big problem. Because of this, I don't think the problems end when the SEC tries to label it as a security. The proof of stake idea as a whole seems like it was doomed to fail from the start and is based on a house of cards. The good news is that this will change how the business world thinks about XRP and other tokens in a big way. If the SEC is successful in this, the market will fall apart totally. Take a look at it this way. At the moment, an EVM sidechain is built into the XRP system. Most projects that use Ethereum won't want to deal with the chaos caused by the SEC's upcoming case. The stress of possibly having to register with the US SEC security will be too much for them to handle. But what were they really able to do? They could use the EVM sidechain to get to the XRP record and start working on it. Instead, businesses could just switch to the XRP ledger and build directly. On the XRP system, there is no risk like this when you stake. The XRP system does not have a proof-of-stake network. Taking everything into account, this is very good news for the future of the XRP system. The well-thought-out consensus process that the XRP ledger has had from the start is a big plus. At this time, I don't want government capture to help the XRP ledger. Since the SEC is cracking down on proof-of-stake, I don't see how they can call it a security. That's why I don't want the XRP system to win. I'm sure that the XRP record will do very well in the long run if the SEC really does crack down on this proof-of-stake method. Proof-of-stake is a house of cards. This, in my opinion, will only make its flaws stand out more. Also, networks like the XRP ledger are built in a way that makes them even better. Their networks don't depend on the most valuable person, and they have nothing to do with the proof-of-stake agreement problem. Something is now being tried to become a protection by the SEC. The XRP system seems like a win in the long run based on how it works. Ripple's business plan is to start with the biggest institutions in the world and work its way down, partnering with them to win them over before adding smaller clients. This is why I think the XRP ledger will win in the end. I think that Ripple will lose because of how proof of stake is being used by regulators, and I don't want that to happen. I want Ripple and XRP to win. After all is said and done, I think this will only help bring more projects to the XRP system, especially now that XRP is more clear. At the start of the SEC case, it was awful that the XRP record was the only network that the SEC was calling a security. But now that XRP isn't seen as a security and Ripple is almost done with the SEC case, this whole story is almost over. That being said, other projects are about to go where no one has gone before. Now, other projects are being looked at with the same care that Ripple and XRP were years ago. At first glance, this looks like a big benefit. Also, I think this review of Ethereum will be a big problem for the big banks that want to get into this space right now when we're in the middle of one of the best institutional bull markets in history. On the whole, this is a complete head fake that I didn't expect to see, but taking everything into account, I think the XRP system will have big tailwinds because we already won the war. We won our case against the SEC. These are just the start of the tasks. Now, though, I'd like to talk about something that caught my attention and made me gasp a little. The Digital Dollar Project and the Digital Found Foundation have joined forces in this deal. Ripple is one of the main groups that gives money to the Digital Found Foundation. Ripple has been very important in this. Brad Garlinghouse often gets together with the leaders of the Digital Found Foundation. It has been known for a while that the Digital Dollar Project works with the Digital Found Foundation, but we didn't know about this relationship until now. Throughout history, we have seen that Europe will often start new laws, programs, or other projects, and the US will then do the same, waiting to step in if needed to make sure the system works well. It looks like this is the same thing to me. Together with the Digital Found Foundation, feel it. Along with the Digital Found Foundation, Ripple is building a CBDC and putting blockchain technology into their financial system. It looked like it was working pretty well too, as the Digital Dollar Project saw. Next, please add us to your list. People, this looks like the Digital Dollar Project is working with Ripple. Ripple has been talked about a lot by the Digital Found Foundation. The Digital Dollar and the Digital Found Foundation are also working together right now. There are a lot of signs here that Ripple will play a big part in making these sites better. In the end, I think the most important thing we should learn from this is that these two organizations are working to build the financial railroads we will use in the future. The main goal of these two foundations is to build the next generation of financial systems, mostly for local currencies in their own countries. How important Ripple will be in the system we are going towards is shown by the fact that it is working with these groups and has already helped them build these systems. In the background, Ripple is working. There are other businesses that Ripple works with besides stores. What's being built is something they don't want you to know about. They want you to not notice the change. They want the progress to surprise you right away. They need it to happen now.